Was that an individual goal that you set out for ahead of the season, or do you feel like that just kind of happened naturally?
Well, thank you. And no, I don't really ever set goals based on individual accomplishments. I think individual accomplishments are a signification of great teammates and great people around you, great coaching staff who help you and put you in positions to succeed on the court. So really, every single day, I'm just trying to win the day, trying to compete, trying to get better, trying to lead, trying to gain everybody's respect, and ultimately just trying to do everything it takes to build a winning culture. And I think that was the main focus, and things just happen naturally along the way that you're extremely grateful for, and things that you want to share with the people around you who have helped mold you and help you get.
Is Paige Bueckers making a play to take over Caitlin Clark's fan base? In a brand new interview, Paige just dropped some comments about her offseason plans that have everyone talking, and it seems like she's pointing directly at Caitlin Clark's recent struggles. She talked about getting stronger, adding muscle, and improving her three-point shot, and fans immediately started connecting the dots. The timing feels suspicious, and the comparisons are impossible to avoid. This could completely change the conversation about who really runs women's basketball. So tell me in the comments, is Paige Bueckers actually taking shots at Caitlin Clark? Or are fans just reading way too much into a standard offseason interview?
Is there anything that you want to add to your game going into year two? Your bag is already deep, but is there anything you want to work on, or is there a point of emphasis this offseason?
I honestly, the easy answer is to say everything, but I feel like there's so many things I want to improve in every single area of my game. So just continue to get stronger, want to live in the paint a little bit more, get to the rim a little bit more, get to the free throw line more.
So here's what went down. Paige Bueckers sat down with USA Today for what should have been a totally routine off-season interview. Instead, she delivered comments that immediately got people comparing her plans to Caitlin Clark's recent struggles. When Paige started talking about getting her legs back, building muscle endurance, and making sure she can last through entire games in a full season, fans instantly thought about Caitlin's second season issues. The parallels were just too obvious to ignore. Let's break down what actually happened here. Paige is coming off her rookie year with the Dallas Wings after winning a national championship at UConn. She snagged Rookie of the Year, so nobody disputes her talent. But during this interview, when she was asked what she wants to add to her game heading into year two, her answer raised a lot of eyebrows. She mentioned getting stronger, living in the paint more, and getting to the rim, and then she specifically said she wants to get her legs back and build muscle endurance so she can last through an entire long season.
Just get my legs back, get my strength back, muscle endurance, so that I can last through an entire long season, last through an entire 4 quarters of a game, and then just continue to work on my mid-range and how to get to my spots in different ways. So yeah, kind of all that to say everything.
And that last part is where things got really interesting. Caitlin Clark famously added a significant amount of muscle before her second WNBA season, and it completely threw off her game. Her shooting percentages dropped like a rock, her signature deep threes just weren't falling, and she looked like a totally different player on the court. Almost every analyst and fan blamed her struggles directly on the added muscle, saying it messed up her shooting touch and overall conditioning. So when Paige mentions getting her legs back and building muscle endurance, people immediately made that connection. But here's the big question. Was Paige deliberately referencing Caitlin's situation, or is this just fans desperately looking for drama? On one hand, every single pro athlete talks about getting stronger in the off-season. That's just standard procedure. On the other hand, the specific language Paige used about getting her legs back echoes exactly what everyone said Caitlin needed after her muscle-building experiment went sideways. And get this, Paige also mentioned wanting to improve her three-point shooting. Again, totally normal, but when you're talking about Caitlin Clark, one of the best shooters in history, it sounds a lot like Paige is positioning herself to take that crown. Whether she meant it or not, that's how fans are taking it. The timing is everything here. Paige just wrapped a great rookie season, while Caitlin is facing questions after a sophomore slump. The narrative is building that Paige sees an opening to become the new face of women's basketball, while Caitlin is vulnerable. The evidence is thin, but that hasn't stopped people from running with it, scrutinizing every single thing she says for hidden meaning. The reality is, Paige Bueckers is trending, and that seems to bother Caitlin's fans, so they're looking for any reason to paint Paige as the villain. But what's crazy is that the rest of the interview was totally normal. Paige talked about how good it feels to finally have an off-season, how she's enjoying life, and even how she went back to UConn to be a practice player and trash talk her old teammates. None of that has anything to do with Caitlin, but the internet wants drama, so they cherry-picked the quotes that fit their narrative. She even gave a super diplomatic answer about individual awards, saying her focus is on team success, but some fans twisted that into a subtle dig at Caitlin for being too focused on stats, which is just absurd. She gave this really mature take on handling adversity and working with a sports psychologist, but again, fans just used it to compare her to Caitlin. Now the comparison to the muscle building is somewhat fair. It's possible Paige saw Caitlin's struggles and learned from them, which would be smart, not malicious. Every player should study what works for their peers. The idea that Paige is trying to steal fans is just weird. The sport grows when there are multiple stars. Ultimately, this was a pretty standard interview with a young, thoughtful athlete, and the fact that it blew up into a massive rivalry says way more about the fans than it does about Paige Bueckers. So even if Paige didn't mean to start a war, this interview has everyone picking sides. The women's basketball world loves a good rivalry, even if they have to invent it themselves. If you think Paige is coming for Caitlin's throne, smash that like button, subscribe for more basketball drama and analysis, and drop a comment with your prediction for both players next season.